Hello guys, what's up and welcome to this video. Now first and foremost, I just want to apologize for the lack of any uploads for the past 2 weeks. I really feel bad, especially considering in the beginning of the year, I made the resolution to upload every week without fail, and it's February, or I guess it was February. Now it's March, and I already messed that up, so I feel really bad. But quite honestly, I was just going through a lot, and I had a lot of stress, and I would have uploaded some like shitty video, and I prioritize quality over quantity, so I needed that break, so I would come back with a good video. And yeah. So while I was away though, I went to the doctors, and going to the doctors made me realize that, every year you have your physical, but, for the rest of the year, you kind of forget the trauma that this physical gives you. I mean, it's not too bad, and of course it's necessary for your health. I would never advocate for you not to get a physical, but there are certain aspects of it that, I just kind of forget. But then every year when it comes around that time where I need to go to the doctors, I remember them. So I just decided, you know what? I'll share my experience since, I'm sure everyone can relate to it and relate to the annoying things about it. And yeah, so let's just dive right into it. So the first thing that happens at every physical that is uncomfortable and just a little bit annoying is when they're like, all right, take off your clothes and put on this robe. And the robe or gown is typically made out of pretty much toilet paper or paper towels. It's the thinnest material ever, and it is just uncomfortable, especially because after you put on this robe, they expect you to, do your height, weight, and pretty much prance around the doctor's office in little to no clothing, and it is just uncomfortable. And so when I went to the doctor's office, that was the first thing they did. They first told me, put on this robe and take off your clothes. And so I did, of course. I complied because, it's what you have to do. But then after I did this, they decide, oh, this is a great thing to ask her to do. And they hand me a cup and they're like, okay, you need to pee in this cup. And, that's normal. Of course, I expect that. And I don't have any problems with it in and of itself. But all I could think about is, why on earth would they give me the cup after telling me to put on this robe? Because at least at my doctor's office, this robe is a one-time thing. Like, you can't just take it on and off, It's just made out of paper towels, and then you tie around a string around your waist, and then it's sealed, You seal the deal with that string. You can't just undo the string and then take it off or anything like that. So I was just wondering, why would they make me put on this permanent robe and then give me this cup? Because how on earth am I supposed to pee in this cup while also wearing this robe? And oh my God, it was just ridiculous, So I couldn't do anything about it. I was already in this robe, and it's not like I could be like,
hey, can I actually just get a new robe, and take this one off and pee and then put the new one on?
I didn't want to be unnecessary, so I just had to figure out a way to maneuver this robe around so that, I could pee in this cup without, getting any fluids on this very thin robe. Because that would be really gross and also really uncomfortable and really awkward to explain to the doctor, yeah, I accidentally got, half of this robe wet. Yeah, I'm not 12, but I pretty much am 12 years old when it comes to my capabilities. But yeah, so I was just, a little bit, dumbfounded as to why they did it in this order. But, I couldn't do anything about it. So I ended up having to, go to the restroom, which, by the way, this is another embarrassing thing about myself, I guess, that I'm about to reveal. And it's that at this doctor's office, I've been going since I was I don't even know, since I could remember, the same exact doctor. And, it's been the same exact office, no changes. And when I was younger, I never knew how to shut this door, because when you first shut the door, it will still remain ajar. It won't completely cling to the door hinge, I guess. In order for you to shut the door, you have to actually close it and then lock it, and then it'll remain shut. But when I was younger, I had no clue. And quite honestly, I only realized this a year ago, which is pretty sad. But, in my defense, my house, we don't have any like locks on our bathrooms or on like our like room doors or anything like that. So I'm not familiar with like locks that much. So, you know, I didn't know. And since I didn't know how to shut the door, I just thought like it was broken. I don't know why. I thought that was more of a reasonable assumption to make, that it was possibly just broken and they haven't fixed it for my whole life. I don't know. So instead, what I would do is I would like shut the door, and then I would barricade myself in the bathroom and, you know, like put like a step stool in front of it or like a trash can so that it would remain closed, which is the dumbest thing ever. I can't believe I used to think that. But luckily, now when I went to the bathroom, I knew how to lock it and like close the door and all that. So I didn't have to barricade myself with any trash cans. So that was a good thing. But yeah, so anyways, back to the point. So I had to go to the bathroom and figure out a way to maneuver this gown. And, you know, it was a little bit difficult. I mean, not too much, you know, considering I'm not 12 years old. I was able to figure it out. But it was just kind of a hassle, you know, like I had to like lift it up and then like pee, and it was just, you know, it was just annoying. And yeah, so I did that, you know, whatever, cool beans. So put my pee on the desk and, you know, went about my business. And so then they asked me afterwards, like after they like do my height and weight and all of that shit, then they're like, oh, you know, it's been 3 years since you've had your last EKG, let's go ahead and do that. And I was like, oh, great. And pretty much, if you don't know what an EKG is, which I don't know how you don't, but it's pretty much where they put a bunch of like stickers and like wires on your chest to like check your heart rate, I think. Hopefully I'm right. But yeah, so they just put all these stickers around your chest, which most of my viewers are male, so you may not understand why it's a little bit more of a hassle as a female, but pretty much it's a hassle because it's your chest. And in order for them to do this, they kind of had to like rip my gown open, and then just I laid there exposed while they just like put everything on, which like, yeah, of course it's necessary, and they're doctors, you know, they're not thinking anything weird, but you know, I can't help but feel a little uncomfortable. But also, more importantly, it was cold. Okay, these past few days and past few weeks in California have been really cold, in case you don't know. So it was a little uncomfortable in terms of that. And every doctor's office is always kept at a very cold temperature as well. So, you know, more importantly, I was a chilly gal, and it was really uncomfortable. And also, while the nurse was putting on like all of these little like stickers and stuff on my chest, you know, I'm ticklish there, okay? It's uncomfortable. I don't know why I'm ticklish there, but I am. So as she was putting these things on, you know, I couldn't help but feel ticklish. But, you know, I didn't want to make it awkward and start like squirming around or like laughing or something, because that would be a really uncomfortable situation. It would make it even more awkward than it already is. So yeah, and it was also another like strange thing about it was that like the nurse who was like doing this was also training another nurse, I think. So she was just like talking about like how to do the process as she was like putting these stickers on me, which like kind of made it a little less like awkward, because, you know, it didn't feel like so personal, I guess. But it was still just a little bit odd. You know, I was just sitting here, you know, chest exposed, while they were just like chatting about where the tubes are in the office, which I was like, okay, I mean, I guess this is normal, whatever. But yeah, as she was putting on the stickers, you know, I just had to clench and hold it in. I did not want to start giggling or squirming, because that would have been weird. And luckily I succeeded. You know, I was able to hold back, fight through the tears, and not make it weird. And yeah, so the EKG was finally done. It was a pretty quick process other than like putting the stickers on. And it was whatever, you know, not too big of a deal. And yeah, and then after the EKG, I had the physical, which, you know, isn't too bad. You know, I've had the same doctor for a while, so at this point, like, I'm pretty comfortable. Like, you know, it's not like anything weird. She just had to like hit my knees with that thing, or test my reflexes, whatever, the usual. But yeah, those 3 minor things, the EKG, the bathroom, the gown, those are really the only things that bother me. You know, it's kind of a little uncomfortable to be wearing a toilet paper gown, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, those are just the few things that are kind of uncomfortable about going to the doctors. Maybe you guys can relate, or maybe you can't. I don't know. Let me know in the comments your guys' experience or any sort of annoying things about going to the doctors or uncomfortable things. And yeah, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all next time.